Thanks.
A little bit of a different stream than last time you were here, I think.
Much different.
A lot of excitement, a lot of hype built up right now. I think this, in the world of video game sort of mythic legends, I think the Halo 2 E3 demo is right up there. It's like the unicorn of the gaming industry. So there's been a lot of demand for this over the years. We are excited to have this here today. Before we dive in, I want to give just a couple caveats. First of all, you might notice behind us here, we have some technical problems, it seems, when you take a console that is basically like this. This is the old original Xbox debug kit, which you might recognize eventually became the limited edition Halo version of the same console. But this thing doesn't have HDMI, doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that we're used to today. So turns out doesn't play super nice with our streaming tech that we have in the room here. So what that means is we're going old school. We're doing an over-the-shoulder, off-screen camera view of this demo. So if anything, I just think it adds to the authenticity of the experience, right? Plus, we'll probably get some free anti-aliasing along the way, probably look a little better. So to really get things started, I don't even think I've had a Mountain Dew since 2003.
I can't remember the last time.
Hold on. Things are going to get interesting. So, Sean, what are we looking at here behind us?
So this is the XDK launcher. This is basically the dev home screen when you're developing Xbox games. This is where you would land.
A little different
olden days.
A little different nowadays, right? So I see we're looking at this right now, and you've got a couple different entries for Halo 2. The one we're interested in is, of course, the smaller one, the 316 megabyte version.
Yeah, that's so this. I'm not exactly sure if this is what went to E3, but it is
pretty dang close.
Pretty dang close.
Okay.
There was another build also about a week prior to that. It was pretty rough shape.
Oh yeah.
Things came in hot.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell from that.
Well, and as people probably know, but in case we have a lot of new folks, I think, tuning in for the first time, just to quickly give you guys a little more context, Sean's part of the publishing team. They're doing all this great work that's been happening with MCC and going back, and Scoop specifically has kind of been the guy really deep in the code doing line-by-line comparisons to try and make everything in MCC as close to parity as the original games as possible. So I think in terms of the legacy of Halo, the code base, you're one of the foremost experts in this entire building. And it was through the work that you've done and the access that you have to this archive and library of content that basically is what brought this to fruition. So I think you found this, got it up and running.
It took a bit of digging, but yeah.
I brought a debug kit in. You have a kit. Even these things are super hard to come by. So the stars aligned. Here we are.
Here we are. So yeah, there's a couple different builds. Symbols, that's like a full-on debug, no optimizations enabled. Profile, less debug, more optimizations enabled. Near ship, which is what we're going to play today, no debug text is going to show up, so we're going to get the full playthrough experience.
Okay.
Nothing popping up on it.
And then, just so everybody knows, Frank O'Connor will be joining us in just a little while, and we're, of course, going to make him play this, see how he does. I'm pretty sure Sean has played this recently, so you're not completely going in blind.
A couple times.
I have not played this at all. In fact, before we were doing our testing earlier, I broke the scripting in about 2 seconds. So we wanted to come in blind, see how we could do. I don't know what the over-under is for how many times we're going to crash this thing today, but
I haven't actually crashed it.
well, you're an expert at this, I would imagine. But
I haven't necessarily gone on my way to try and crash it,
okay.
but I've gone out exploring.
How about to start, we do our best representation of what we remember the demo being and try not to break it and just see what happens, right? And then we'll look at our chat. By the way, please chat with us. Tell us what you want to see. We will go off script at some point. We will go off the rails, and let's see how hard we can push this thing, all right?
All right.
All right. Can you stick it?
I can stick it.
All right. I bet you can't, but let's see what happens.
Stow it, son. These folks didn't wait in line to hear your lips flippity-flap. Knuckle up and get ready to dance, you pasty bastard. What you good people are about to see is an operation in progress. This is a real-time feed. No smoke and mirrors pre-recorded bullshit. Elements of the Covenant fleet have made landfall and occupied one of our cities. We'll link up with our forces in theater, engage the enemy, and boot their sorry behinds back into the stratosphere. Yo, demo biatch! You got anything?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Kill the lights!
Took 2 in the nose, then dropped into the atmosphere.
Who was first contact?
405th out of Diego Garcia. But don't expect a big welcome. The Covenant wiped most of them out before they hit the ground.
Immediate. Grid Kilo 2-3 is hot. Recommend mission abort.
Roger, Recon.
It's your call, Sergeant.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Covenant ground forces own this city. We'll need to deal with them before we can kill that cruiser.
Pile out! Go, go, go!
I'll evac the wounded. Keep me posted, Cortana.
Of course, Sergeant.
Sir, Corporal Perez, A Company? CP's this way.
Must be seeing things.
Guess the brass do give a shit.
Come on. Stay with me, Marine.
No tags.
Ang 2 units own egg, and he needs an airway.
I'm calling it. It's 1900. The lieutenant got hit as soon as we dropped in.
Who's in charge now, Corporal?
Sergeant Banks, ma'am. He's pinned down up front. Come on, I'll show you.
No, behind that ST. Yeah.
3 more, coming left!
I'm running low, man.
Oh yeah, Parsons!
Yeah?
Is it clear?
You tell me!
Friendly's moving out, covering fire!
Ask for reinforcements. Send a Spartan. We gotta take that thing out. Cover me! Tech HQ, this is Sergeant Banks. I've got hostile artillery 200 meters northeast of my position. Bring smoke, over!
Hostiles right.
Damn it, HQ! Is anybody on this freak?
Sergeant, this is Major Easley. Hang tight, we're inbound. Verify delivery of ordnance on target.
Head on, Major. Target neutralized.
Move out.
Take my weapon. You'll need it.
So far, so good, Sean. And that's it.
Not entirely. There's
Your part's done, right?
Hang on.
Bingo. There's the cruiser. Now, all we need to do is...
Uh-oh.
Bet you can't stick it.
you. That's Halo 2, right?
That is. That's it. Game over. That's pretty much the end of the game. There wasn't much more than that.
Yeah.
Nice job. You did it pretty much by the book. You missed the ghost,
Yeah.
which, you know, I think even today that haunts Joe Staten. He also missed the ghost on the one take that ended up becoming the public-facing, like, archive video. Nice job.
Thanks.
I feel like we had it looks like we had a guest slip into the studio. So one thing, Sean, before I know you have to get to a meeting soon. Before you do have to leave, quick question for you is: a lot of people on chat seem to be confused. They think this thing's running at 60 frames per second. It's most certainly not. No. Right. So it seems like it might be an artifact of either the way we have our streaming set up here, and/or has something to do with like this TV might have that weird motion smoothing thing going on, or a combination. But I don't think this thing got anywhere near 60. Probably barely held 30.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think so.
All right. In case we want to screw around with your builds a little bit later, let's just say we might, if we get tired of E3, because we're going to run it back. I know people were asking, like, hey, you're not talking through it. We just wanted to give you guys a clean, clear, pristine run through. And then Sean's going to have to run off to a meeting. We're going to be joined by Frank. And then Frank's going to get crazy. Then we'll start kind of getting a little loose, and we'll talk through it more and see if we can break the build. So,
This 2132 near ship, that's
the
your
one we want to launch for the
E3.
proper E3 experience.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that other thing you were telling me about, if we did decide to dip into it, is that it right there above it?
I believe that is it.
Right there,
It's a
that
2003 September build.
Okay.
It's a symbols build, so it's going to be perf's
We'll
not going to
see.
be there,
Okay.
but it's going to have some things.
Yeah, we might go into there. We'll see how it goes. I definitely want to see. We definitely want to see Frankie play through the E3 demo as well, and people want to see the off-script stuff. So we'll see what we can do. We did not break it. You got a complete playthrough, no crashes, no soft locks. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of people want to know, where can they pre-order this game? They're excited for it.
You got time travel.
Okay, yeah, go back in time. All right, we do have enough Mountain Dew. We see you there, Dust Lucky. We're really getting in the spirit here. I don't think I've had a Mountain Dew since this demo came out initially, so just kind of kicking it way back. And of course, if you're not aware, the whole reason we're really even doing this is last Thursday was the 14-year anniversary of the release of Halo 2, which is pretty crazy, which means this is 15 years old. Wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I think it has. Pretty intense. So I think we'll have Frank come up here in just a sec. Scoops, any final comments or thoughts? We're not going to see this in MCC anytime soon.
No.
It doesn't really work. It's not really a thing. It's only running on these old debug kits.
Yeah, this predates even like the Havoc physics that came in much later. This is like running old school Halo 1 physics. So I'm sure there's modifications somewhere, but it's 2003 up until ship. There was a lot of work that went in.
Cool. All right, so don't hold your breath. No current plans to make this thing a retail product, but I know it looks awesome and people would like to tinker with it, but it's probably good for maybe 1 or 2 playthroughs, and then that's kind of all there is to it.
Yeah, you get your exploring in, and then there's not much replayability.
Yeah. I hear you. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Scoops.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I think we'll do a little musical chairs, swap you out, bring Frank in if he's ready. While you're doing that, I brought in some random souvenirs. I don't know the best way to give stuff away, so we might just kind of go back through chat afterwards and just pick some people at random. So stick with us. We're going to be going for about an hour. We're just talking about Halo 2. We're going to keep an eye on the chat for your questions. Frank and I are kind of old, so our memories aren't what they used to be. We'll do our best to remember stuff from the old days if you're curious. I think everyone knows the troubled development history that this game went through, and pretty much after this demo, everything was burned to the ground and started from scratch again from the ground up. So this is one of the reasons why this demo is not what you saw in the final game. Frank, feel free to come on in. We're casual here. It's
So this is what's converting it to the 60, if you want to show them that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks. Michael's handing me this. This is what's being used to help power this thing, and this is what's contributing to what appears to be a 60 frames per second output. It's not running at 60. I already talked about this, Frank. Real quick, I just brought some tchotchkes in. Some things I'm going to give away later. I'll randomly have to pick some folks. First, we have, these are really rare, by the way, a fancy Halo 2 like gunmetal pin with a steelbook notepad. Never been used, new in wrapper. So we'll give that away later. I don't even remember where I got this. I think it might have been on an Asia press tour, but I believe this is maybe from either Korea or Taiwan. And
is that the one where you and Curtis Creamer got surprised by the people bursting through the
It is.
the set?
When I was on stage,
you guys had to do it, didn't you?
I was on stage at the Taiwan Game Expo. They introduced me as the creator of Halo, despite my misgivings.
Yeah. It's the best when you get back to the office.
I will just say there may have been a choreographed dance number with women in camouflage bikinis and machine guns dancing around me. And I had to be, I was a gracious guest and I had to do my part. So thankfully, I don't even think YouTube existed back then, so there's no evidence that ever happened. Look at this thing I found in my storage. You know this is old because it was an exclusive for Circuit City. So for you young folks out there, this was like Amazon back when it was like there was no internet and you just had to drive to a store. And this was one of the first big electronics stores that was devoted solely to TVs and stuff.
This was CRT TVs. Like there were a couple of flat screens back in the day, but not a lot. Remember moving that big? Remember the 480p Sharp TV we had? Was it Sharp or RCA? RCA, giant. Yeah. It weighed literally 300 pounds.
We have two in the hub right now. They're Sony CRTs, and they each weigh several hundred pounds. But yeah, that's actually a nice little watch. It's pretty cool.
Not bad, yeah.
We should do more stuff like that. And I forgot I got one of these, but I received a plaque for recognition of my contribution to the largest video game launch in history.
Very nice.
Wow, I think back then that was like 1,000 copies, right?
Yeah.
So I have that. I'm not going to give that away. I will give this away later. I found a limited edition art print.
That's pretty sweet.
And this was a piece of art created by Craig Mullins, who did a lot of awesome Halo concept work back in the day. A lot of your favorite magazine covers and things that you saw from that era, all Craig Mullins. And this actually was a proof, so super rare. I will pick somebody. I'm going to give away 2 Halo 2 posters, brand new and shrink wrap. We'll pick some people out of the chat later for that. And then my personal favorite, which some people have probably heard me talk about, this I think is the rarest collectible.
Oh, from the UK.
It is.
Yeah. So
this is, you've heard me mention this potentially before. This is the official Halo 2 promotional condom.
Yeah, we have a bunch of rules about how the Master Chief is supposed to show up at events and what things are kosher to talk about and what things aren't. And every time we travel abroad, doesn't matter whether it's the UK or Taiwan or Mexico, things get exciting and interesting.
Yeah, so mint and wrapper.
Yeah.
Halo 2 coming soon. Xbox, it's good to play together. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Do you think that that's still a safe prophylactic that could be used to prevent new players?
Oh, sure. Yeah. What could go wrong? Yeah, I wouldn't risk it, but yeah, I was very happy to find this in my box. Very cool. All right, so Frank, you up for this challenge?
Yes.
You can watch right here. You don't have to look behind you. So I think we should play through it, and people were kind of just, why don't they've already gotten a free, clean playthrough, so I think we should just screw around. We can banter.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on chat. Let's answer questions that come up. And
test the robustness of that code.
Yeah. I mean, for me, one of my favorite recollections, which I had just read this oral history of the E3 2003 demo before the stream to try and make sure I remembered what the hell I was talking about. But you remember the fan fest we did that night, right?
Yes.
After hours, we filled the room, and then Jamie Griesmer just decided to go. He'd done the demo like hundreds of times over the span of E3 and decided just to go crazy.
Yeah.
And started looking where he wasn't supposed to look and like breaking the demo, and it became like kind of a cool, legendary moment.
Yeah.
I also read Hillary Goldstein's account of none of the press at E3 thought it was real. They thought it was all just a pre-rendered cutscene.
Right.
So we apparently had to bring a handful of press into the room and show them and do stuff off script because, you know, even nowadays, you aren't eligible for an award at E3 unless your game is playable.
Yes.
So I think we probably even let at least one journalist touch the controller, shoot the battle rifle, and at least check the box off.
Well, remember the Halo 3, well, it was an engine demo, really, of the giant crater at Voy.
Yeah.
We also had to do that
We did.
for that. I mean, it wasn't playable in the sense that you could go do anything fun. At least in the Halo 2 demo, you were doing gamey things.
Yeah.
But with Halo 3, it was just a graphics engine demo, but it was real. You could detach the camera, fly around. I'm just so excited that you, on live national stream, said that you were super excited to find this in your box.
This has just been I actually thought this was gone forever. And I think Chris Lee didn't even want to acknowledge that this existed. But to be fair, like, this was a marketing thing created by Xbox Euro marketing team.
Super off message.
Yeah,
European.
but that never happened back then.
No.
All right, so who wants to see Frank do his best to play through the E3 demo and go off script and just see what the heck happens? I do.
I do.
I think the audience does too. All right, there's your controller.
Already complained about this because we can't
right.
invert the controls. So I'm going to look like I have no idea what I'm doing more than usual. But
Is Frank's blocking the shot
blocking
slightly?
the shot.
Okay. All right. And also, if you're just joining us, I mentioned this at the start of the show, but turns out these old kits, this old content, there's no such thing as HDMI back then. The way our stuff is set up here, we just don't have a way for this to play nicely. Unfortunately, we could not get direct output into our streaming setup. So we're just doing old-fashioned camera pointing at the screen. Apologies, it's a little dark. There's some glare. We're doing the best we can do, but it's authentic. So there you go.
And we can answer questions from the stream.
Yeah,
Somebody just asked me what I think of Brexit.
Oh, that's a little off topic.
Yeah.
If you want to maybe do a follow-up show later and just go deep in politics, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's try to keep it a little more topical on the Halo 2 stuff. So Frank's already given his caveat. He's an inverted person. This build doesn't support inverted. Oh well.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're ready, we want to run the near ship build, which Sean said that's our best perf. So just go ahead and hit A. And let's do it. Take a second
fingers
to load
crossed.
in. Yeah, he just did it just fine. There we go. So. Remember, I don't remember Staten's line, but Staten would be standing up in front of the theater. That's another thing to point out is when this demo was delivered at E3, this is like one of the only times that a game came in and built an entire custom, like high-end theater experience, right? Like the audio, the screens. And you remember how obsessive our team was about that?
And E3 is probably the noisiest, worst environment you can think of to get soundproofing in, but they got it. It worked really well.
I think that added a lot to the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'll also never forget is I wish we had it right now. I need some Incubus or some Breaking Benjamin playing. Remember that video that Jet McQuillan made and went one scene, there's the kid in the front row and just tears pouring down his face when he's watching this demo play out.
Speaking of tears and Breaking Benjamin, we have a bathroom playlist. Last week they had Breaking Benjamin Blow Me Away on a loop, which is the last thing you want to hear when you get in a stall.
Huh. Or tears just pouring down your
Blow
face.
me away! Yep.
All right. I think you need to hit your button when you're ready. Joe would have given some kind of preamble, which I don't actually remember.
Well, I'm Joe. I sound a bit like a current lady. Then Sergeant Johnson comes in, gives you his amble.
You pasty bastard.
Yeah. We were talking about David Scully the other day with the Showtime TV folks. They were asking us who the fan favorite characters were.
Really?
So we talked about Guilty Spark and
You're dropping
Johnson.
some Showtime TV tidbits into this stream.
Not really.
Nice.
No, there's no information there, but it was. But the
he is a fan favorite.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yes.
If he hadn't sacrificed himself so nobly.
I mean, I don't even know of what we were thinking now. Like literally, demo biatch. We recorded that line.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah. You're the demo biatch, Frank.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fun fact is I actually had Scully come to that fan fest, and he was in character the entire night. It was absolutely amazing.
Who else was there? Wasn't Jen there as well? Jen Taylor.
Jen Taylor was absolutely there. She was awesome, and also it was her first time that she was completely kind of overwhelmed by fans, and to the point where she was actually uncomfortable. Like, so there was only like 200 people in the booth after hours, but she walked in, everyone just swarmed right on her because, of course, she's Cortana, she's Jen Taylor.
And she didn't meet Steve Downs until almost 10 years after that.
I heard that.
Crazy.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it was
Yet
at
their
Comic-Con.
chemistry is really well.
We were like, well, you guys have met before. And they were like, no, first time.
I'll never forget Johnson in character. David Scully was just awesome, making me laugh hysterically all night.
And he's a bit more handsome and elegant than Johnson, but he looks like him a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as old. Spartan 1 candidate.
I saw some comments in the chat earlier talking about stencil shadows, and yes, you are right. Essentially, the underlying engine and tech bets that the Bungie team made, it started with that Space Pickle announced trailer, proved to be not viable. So even after this demo, pretty much the entire engine had to be ripped apart. This ended up being throwaway work. It never really became, ideally you were actually working in parallel. You just cut a slice of your game, you go play at E3, you come back and you finish it. This was a massive time and resource investment that was more or less had to be scrapped.
Yeah, a lot of it obviously ends up in the engine, but the game actually fundamentally looked different after this as well.
It sure did.
And not just the sort of engine differences, but the style and the...
Somebody wants to know what happens if you betray the Marines. I think you might need to just do it.
Should I do it?
Let's just see.
All right, let's see if we're this quickest demo ever.
Okay. Nothing.
Oh. No, it's just very good medical care in that tent, so... All right.
Lots of blood back then. This was a little bit of profanity, quite a bit of blood.
Mature rated.
As soon as we dropped in. Who's in charge now, Corporal? Sergeant Banks, ma'am. He's pinned down
Yeah, it's funny. The more realistic,
Marcus Leto model.
Probably. Is he ruggedly handsome?
I can't tell. His face is a little rough.
There we go. Maybe. poor Marcus. Where to? I forgot. I don't want to crash it for no good reason.
Oh, well, you got, okay, so through to your left, to up that staircase there, I believe. On the wait to your nope. Isn't there like right there?
There.
Yeah, go up that way.
Yeah, our lighting changed quite dramatically as well. Not just the engine stuff, but the type of atmosphere that you get in dark areas is actually pretty different than this. Yeah, it's funny to see how many of the sort of actual rendering tech changed between this and the finished game, but
I'm leaning in too much to the screen.
Yeah,
I see.
It's because you're
face.
gross.
My face.
I'm gonna see if I can. Oh yes!
Oh
yes! See, it's the engine.
No, not Parsons.
Take that, journalist. Sorry. We're just trying to prove it to like some 1985 video game magazine that this is real.
Of course, the Parsons reference, referring to our Bungie studio head, Pete Parsons.
Look at this, mountable turrets.
Yeah, I don't think you can take it off.
No.
No, that's not really where.
Well, actually, I didn't really try. I tried doing it the right way, but nope, that hadn't been invented yet.
No, I don't think it.
On
did
or off? All right, which direction?
I think keep going that way, and these guys should. There you go.
You know, this is more robust than I remember. This is as far as I've gotten messing around with it. Then there we go. Bye. Yeah, it's funny. I kind of forgot that these encounters they're scripted, but like they're real encounters. There's
they
real
really
AI happening there. I mean, he's kind of following a path, but all right. What have we got? Whoops. Somebody was asking me to get in and out of the Warthog earlier in the chat. I don't know quite why, but I'll give it a shot. Which way? Where should I go to not break it? Downstairs?
That way. Follow those Marines.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a question in the chat, Frank. Did you guys have to tone down the language after the H2 demo? I don't remember as much cursing in the final game.
We didn't have to. The funny thing is we don't really know what our ratings are going to be till we submit them. And back in the day, you know, there wasn't as much graphical fidelity, and really they tend to be more concerned with violence than with profanity or sex. But the funny thing is, as our game has gotten higher and higher in terms of render quality, it has also gone to teen. And in some ways it looks much more violent than it did back in the day. But,
people want to know, can you die in this build?
Can I?
I don't know. Jump down there and take some shots. See what happens. I mean, you don't have a health bar, so... I mean, we've seen demos at E3 that are clearly built with Invincible turned on, and we've also seen high-profile demoers die on stage.
Well, we did one E3 demo. I can't remember what it was, but you were there for sure, where it was maybe Reach, where we had the demo on running on 2 machines simultaneously.
Yeah.
So that if something bad happened on the other, on one, then they could quickly switch to a machine that was basically being played at exactly the same pace on the other. So
I don't think we ever had to do a switch to it, did we?
We didn't, but I believe another game that was at that show did.
I remember that.
I'm not going to say what it was.
I do remember that. Someone did die in a horrible way.
But yeah, it was. You have to, because you know it's the you're doing it for the theatrics and the stagecraft of
sure.
it. So I keep zooming. Yeah, you know what? This is. I seem to remember this being a lot more fussy than this.
Yeah, so
pretty
far
good.
it's pretty. Oh, well,
I'm doing wielding.
How did you get that?
Magic.
Oh, you missed the. At some point,
I missed
the guy's
the part
supposed to give
where
it to you.
I
don't even know where you are anymore.
Joe Staten is probably rolling in his grave right now.
I don't even
dead.
remember. I kind of missed the cue here. I'm not sure where you're supposed to go.
Well,
follow those guys.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, just when in doubt, follow those ODSTs.
Come on, guys, where to? I know. Eventually, I get to steal a. Oh, here we go.
Everyone's like, this is nowhere near as buggy as we were told.
I think we exaggerated.
We haven't seen a single crash yet.
It'd be great if I had reverse demo luck, where it just won't crash while I'm playing it.
I think I saw a question in the chat. I'm pretty sure ammo is unlimited for the purpose of
this
demo.
Of
course.
Yeah, you don't want some rookie error to... Because I think, you know, when you do these demos over and over and over again, you sometimes miss a whole step just through... You know, because your brain is so worn into that pattern that it ironically becomes a little bit easier to make silly mistakes.
Yeah, and I think I see a question that these SMGs only have they're fake dual wielding. You're still only using the one trigger, right?
Yeah, they're both firing at the same time.
Yeah.
And the other trigger actually doesn't work, in case you're wondering.
People did lose their minds though the first time you suddenly are holding 2 guns.
Yeah. It was funny that I still often think that Halo 3 is where we got rid of dual wielding, but it's not. It just is not as big a deal in multiplayer as it. But I loved using the spike rifle and the plasma pistol combo, and the 2 brute plasma rifles.
Yeah, that's
brutal. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really lost.
Yeah, I'm
where
lost.
You're supposed
but
to
this
be
is
going.
exciting.
This looks like you're just in raw city streets now. This looks like you're way off the charted path.
Yeah. Well, we're just proving how real this is. Let me go back where... No, wait, I'm supposed to have the ghost encounter soon,
I think you are. Well, you're supposed to be getting on the back of a warthog, right?
Yeah, I've obviously not triggered the warthog properly.
Frankie, please tell us what you saw played when you visited Bungie with OXM to report on this demo. Well, you were already working at Bungie.
I would have seen bits of this. No, because I didn't. They kind of... This was the last thing I saw as a civilian, I think.
Oh, okay. So you came over right after.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I would have seen this, but I also would have seen like much more sort of forward-facing stable bits of the engine, because this is like, it's not exactly a vertical slice or a beauty corner, but it's got a lot of the...
I'm not sure how you're going to get back on the right path here. I'm sure there's like an NPC or someone just waiting for you to come
back
up
the stairs.
Trigger another script.
Yeah. I'm just going to run the whole...
People are asking if we recall why the art direction was changed. Like, the city ended up looking quite different in the final game.
I think you can see, if you go compare this art to the concepts and then the final art to the concepts, they do definitely read as the same material. But this one is I think things in here are a lot softer and... out of focus is the wrong word, but they're definitely softer edges than the game ended up having in the real.
Yeah.
In the
you
shipping.
fought through this area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're waiting for you. This is you've caught up.
There we go.
This is good. Push through that opening, I think, where that guy's caught. Yeah, in there. This looks right.
Blood.
Instead of going that way, maybe you're supposed to go to your right. That
I think you're right. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yep. We did something.
You just hit a trigger volume. Something's happening. I think we're missing longswords, maybe? Is that what's happening above?
Yeah, they might have gone.
No, I don't know. We already... Sorry, that already...
Oh!
Oh!
I'm in a warthog somehow. We got the Gauss cannon. Yeah, you know what? Joe Staten is a liar. This is robust. This is shippable.
It is. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way. People are asking if you can drive the hog, but you can't even get out of the hog.
I don't. Well,
there's,
I'll try.
There's no way to even
Yep,
do it.
I got out of the hog.
Oh, but it just puts you back in automatically? Yep.
Yeah, it's in case you make that. I guess in case you do it by mistake.
You make the mistake during the live demo and spaz
That's
out,
actually
hit the
super
wrong
fun.
button.
Sorry, Grants.
Frank, do you remember? I don't remember
Oops,
this.
sorry.
At what point the decision was made to make the VR become first?
Because
it's not in this incarnation.
I was trying to jump out and fire it. I don't remember.
I
like.
don't remember either.
I mean, I enjoy the 3-burst BR for SWAT because then you get those cheap multi-kills by accident.
The ghost! You missed
Whoa.
the ghost. You missed the ghost. Sorry, I distracted you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was always like the hardest part to hit, right? You're supposed to hit that ghost in
Yeah.
midair for an epic explosion moment.
Oh.
Remember how
Civilian
hard
Warthog.
we had, like, no joke, hours and hours and hours of run-throughs.
Oh yeah, Joe had it down.
Joe had to have it with his eyes closed,
My
and then we had to
goodness.
have a second round of people that had the ability to do a backup in case something happened to
Oh.
Joe.
Oh, I'm getting out. Oh!
Oh, you did?
Oh no, I got out! I'm
Can
gonna
you
see if I
melee?
can. I'm driving the ghost. The Heart Warthog ghost. What am I talking about? I'm driving in first person. And it looks kind of like you're in the Scorpion because you've got the Gauss.
Oh, you are driving
Yeah,
this?
I'm doing this.
What the?
Yeah. I can't shoot though, because I guess you do actually have to be attached to the Gauss turret. Whoa, is there any more? To see how many I can run over.
Pull Trigger asked if any parts of the stencil shadows remained in Halo 2. My understanding is no. I
Yeah.
think that entire tech approach did not work.
And it was, I don't think it was so much a tech approach as a style approach. And as you know, as you get further into the game and you're starting to like, you kind of start figuring out how the game is really going to look. And so a lot of those decisions were made obviously after this.
Is there a horn? Can you honk the horn? No.
No.
Nothing. Okay.
I'm trying all the buttons. Oops. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
What the heck?
It had rewind. I instantly rewound to the
a hidden DVR
yeah.
feature
Yeah.
even back then, huh?
Yeah. Take that, Netflix.
A deja vu.
Ah, so that's okay. So that's where we. That's where I jumped off, and so it's trying to get me back to having the demo work. Uh-oh. He must have the same kind of medical care that
Can
that
you
guy in
flip
the
the
tent had.
Warthog? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Hang on.
And you can't get back in it at all, can you? Can you finish the demo in the Warthog? I don't
Well, let's see
think so.
what a grenade does to him. Oh, can I pick up this brute shot? No. Or can I?
No.
No, you cannot pick up the
Don't do
brute
anything,
shot.
it looks like.
Ooh. Well, I can drive.
Looks like we cannot. A lot of people are asking this. Well, maybe Frank can finish the demo in a Warthog. I
Let's
don't know.
try it.
Let's just see what happens. I want to see the Warthog pull out two plasmas or pull out the plasma at the end.
Well, let's see if if it's a trigger volume or if it's a script, right? Because
Whoa,
what was that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go do it again.
See, it is buggy.
Yeah, but it's not the crashing monstrosity that we remembered.
It's been surprisingly solid.
Yep, there's that weird blue.
I think that's the plasma grenade.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are now.
Well,
how far does this go?
Well, let's find out. It's like the Seinfeld where they just keep driving with no gas.
You're just gonna drive into Halo 3.
Yeah.
Next thing you know.
Yeah. Road to Voy. Okay. Oops.
All right.
Oh, something happened.
This is where the ghost
Yeah.
would be coming down normally, right? The
Yep.
cutscene.
I have to look around my own butt to try and. It keeps centering on my butt. Don't blame it. Isn't this where the crash happens? No.
It looks like it. You're gonna run out of road here in a minute.
We're wiggling. We don't need roads. Oh. This is a circle now, isn't it?
There's a lot more geometry there than I thought.
Yeah. Nice skybox that nobody gets to see. Quite nice lighting on that sky, actually.
Yeah, skyboxes were definitely nice.
kind of reedy sounding Warthog compared to nowadays. This was I believe this one was the same as a Subaru. It's a boxer engine Subaru combined with something else, but I can't remember what.
The engine noise?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I never knew that.
It's 2 engines meshed together, but one of them's a 2-liter Subaru boxer.
I wonder if whatever you pressed before would also rewind you back to a checkpoint.
I think I've hit select or start. No.
Or can you?
Oh, yep,
there
that's
you go,
it. Start,
right.
start button.
All right.
So you're saying this is infinitely replayable?
I think they just told us that so you and I weren't demoing this back in the day.
No,
they
but
told
I
us we couldn't handle it.
I personally watched Joe get shot and crash about 1,000
They just convinced
times.
us all that it was too delicate. Only Joe could pull this off. No one else could ever come close. Now here we are. Turns out it's not all that.
You know what? The frame rate is pretty good too. There's a lot going on here, and it's not like super optimized yet at this point. But wow.
I took some shots.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't this the boarding scene that's going to come up? Yep.
I think so.
I think.
Trying to trigger it. There. Here we go.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. It's just sitting there waiting for you.
Wait for it.
Nice.
Did she just say hi?
Stand a chance if those phantoms double back. See if you can draw them off.
Draw those phantoms off, Frank.
Yeah, so do that using skill.
Game cheat. I think Frank did try to pick up the brute shot earlier.
I did. It doesn't work.
It wouldn't let him pick it up.
I think it vanished as well. Either garbage collected or it just never properly rendered on the way down. Now, which way is out? I like the sound of this ghost.
Yeah, it's nice. Frank, do you recall if were there any? There weren't really any eggs in this demo, were there?
No, I mean, when you're on that kind of schedule, the last thing you're going to want to do is test to see if Easter eggs of all things are going to break it, because they just needed to get this shipped so that it ran and
something definitely broke again though. By the way,
oh yeah,
it was supposed to trigger that cutscene of Chief riding away, looking over his shoulder. There's like no music. What happens when you hit that same back button that you did before?
Oh, the same thing every time.
Is it going to put you back in the Warthog again?
Oh, it didn't. It didn't.
Oh, we're past. You've broken
we're
out
past
of that
that script.
Now. You have no more checkpoint. Now you're really freestyling. Yeah, at this point we'd be on like minute 15 of our E3 keynote demo.
I know. The initial excitement wore off for the audience after.
People want you to try to kill yourself. Can you go off the side of the highway, or I don't think you don't have grenades. You can't blow yourself up, probably. I'm not sure you're going to be able to get
I think I have
this.
infinite grenades, though.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to get this back into a completable state.
Yeah, we may have broke it forever.
You can't boost, right?
No. I mean, it's fast enough, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot more.
What was the worst glitch you faced during Halo 2 development? Oof. Wow.
That one where we had to cut the game in half and start again.
Yeah, probably. When you're 18 months until release and Jason tells you that we're starting over.
Yeah.
It's funny. I totally remember that. I don't know if you remember the team meeting in the back corner of that building where we had. Remember Jason and Paul brought the whiteboards out and said, forget everything that you think you know about the missions thus far. We're changing. Here's what we're going to do. I just remember thinking, like, wow, I'm really glad I'm not one of the guys that has to go out and build this, redo all this work right now.
Yeah, that
obviously the whole studio works super hard, but man.
Yeah, but it was amazing to get from that day, which I think was the lowest ebb on Halo 2 for anyone, to release, and it just blew away our expectations. And I remember, like, after the launch party, like, half of our team ran home to try and play online. And
we wanted to be like, we wanted to get up there quick, and you know how it is.
Yeah,
we got, after getting schooled in the studio by all the great testers, we wanted to go home and play
against the people that
play a bunch
could
of
win
noobs
against.
that have never picked up the game before. It's used to be back then we had about a week where we were awesome, and then the community would surpass us. Now I think it doesn't even happen. That ghost is indestructible.
Yeah.
People are saying, oh, I don't remember this part. Yeah, this is not.
No.
We're way off script now. Frank is in uncharted territory. There may not be anything else for him to do besides
Yeah,
just
I think
drive
we definitely broke the trigger for that.
driving around these empty streets. I don't think there are kill volumes. I see people asking that. I don't think he would just.
Because he wouldn't. There was no way he was going to get that far off tank target with during the demo. So you just wouldn't have built them. I'm amazed how much geometry is in here, though, considering we always knew what the camera path was going to look like here. So there's just stuff here they never had to render, but here it is.
Drive off the edge, people are saying. Can
Let's
you get over that? Can you get over that? I mean, we haven't even seen a proper crash, so. If you could boost, you could easily get up over that railing, but we don't have a boost, huh?
Well, you know what we do have.
Was Peter Moore's Halo tattoo real?
I'll never tell.
If it was, I'm sure he got it laser removed soon thereafter.
I'm surprised that anyone thinks that tattoo was real.
Well, I mean, you have one.
Yeah, obviously, I have one.
You have one for every Halo that you've been a part of, right?
Yeah.
They
call me the Illustrated Man.
The logo on in the release date, all down your back?
Yeah, in that Halo typeface that kids made.
Oh, gosh.
All right, well, that's it. I mean, it's
Halo
not going to
font.
do... Oh, wait, let's have a look at the...
If you want, I could throw you into the other build that Sean put on here if you really want to see.
No, you need to be playing now because I'm about to get motion sick from looking off screen
really? Yeah.
and hurl.
Do you want me to reset it since I don't
yeah,
think
why
we can
not?
get out of this state right now,
not?
right? Actually, if you don't mind, would you it's down there. We got a high-tech setup here. Looks like we couldn't not get out of the map, so that didn't quite work out for us. I'm a little disappointed though. People were expecting this thing to be like, couldn't even go 10 seconds without a crash.
I'm excited that it's robust. I mean, that's, shout out to Chris Butcher and the team on.
I know, right? Even though it didn't have, okay, sorry. So what did Sean tell? It's this guy. You want to just load this up and see what happens? Perf's going to be bad. It's a debug build. It's pre-release. I don't have, people are asking me to put the build on. It's on this kit. I can't really swap it out right now, but I have a build that has Joe Staten doing all the placeholder dialogue for cinematics and stuff. It is rough.
Instead of just the grunts.
All right, I don't know what's in this build. Sean found this. This is on his kit. We'll see what happens. We'll just be guessed here. It looks pretty robust to me. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, this is just a really old build.
It is.
Oh.
And there's what about AI? Should we do what should we do here? What should we try?
Well, caution the audience. We've got a delay, right, in case Chucky's butt shows up or some other thing that we didn't
Liz
know
can
about.
hit the dump button if we come across something. I think we're in full. Yeah, look, we're in 18+ stream right now. This is an M-rated game. What do we want to try to load up?
Oh, somebody just claimed responsibility for the AI test level. Who's that?
Go to the moon. We should try Alpha Moon, Forerunner Tank, AI test, all of them.
I think we got somebody from Old School Bungie is on the stream that
probably gonna bust us. Probably
identify yourself, AI level tester.
Probably telling Pete right now that there's some shenanigans going on. I don't know. I don't even remember the Alpha Gas Giant that much. Let's see what the heck this is.
Yeah, you remember Gas Giant.
Do I?
Slice the cables.
I don't know. Okay, people want to see everything. The other build I had lets me do.
Earth City is New Mombasa. It became New Mombasa.
Invalid pathfinding. Oh, okay.
So much for the AI.
I'm an elite. Does my cheat menu work? Nope, not in this build. I don't even know what I'm. I can't even see what is going on here.
Forerunner Tank.
We have no audio. We are. Oh, I hear a battle happening. I can't see anything. This is rough. This may not be really worth doing much here, guys.
Yeah, are those heretic elites?
Are they?
I think so. They've got the light up parts on their armor, but
I don't even know where to go. I don't even know what this is. I can't see anything. This is.
Yeah, I can't tell if you're even moving.
Is that where I came from? Okay. All right. Oh, look at that down there.
It looks floody.
Should I jump?
Yeah,
sure. Why not?
Chiefs is really good at swimming.
Failed to predict geometry out of space. Uh-oh. Now we didn't die, but we're stuck down here in this weird spot. All right. Not too exciting.
We had a good conversation about
Let's change levels.
where are you going to go?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Try one of the other ones. Should I try Alpha Moon instead? I just did Alpha Gas Giant, right?
Yeah. I know what Delta Temple is.
You do?
Yeah. But I don't know what Alpha Moon
I just
is
did Gas
necessarily.
Giant, right, last time?
Yeah.
Assault the occupied control room and find the Oracle. Warp to Delta Halo and assassinate the Prophet.
Oh, go do that.
Breach the Sentinel quarantine. Start the revolution. Or test the AI. Let's test the AI.
Wow. This is going to be either really short or really spectacular, or both.
If there's even content here, who knows? Add this version on the... Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Okay.
No, it just doesn't look too bad. You got that. We still use that texture for textures. For
oh, this
texture.
placeholder
nice.
texture right here with the alphabet on it?
Yeah. I always liked it. It felt friendlier than some of the other ones.
Hope you're not getting texts from people at Bungie right now saying, what the hell are you doing?
What does cease and desist mean?
It means we're good. It means we're all good. It means open source release this whole thing.
Yeah.
So this just drops me in a room with some angry hunters.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's a Banshee in here. Don't know how
Maybe
it got in.
that's why they're angry.
I don't know how it got in here. I don't know how to get it out of here.
Can you fly it?
Let's find out. So Sean also said that old prototype for vision mode was in this build too. I don't even remember how to do that. Do you?
No.
Oh boy. Okay, this is a bust.
I know there was a
There's
claw
nothing
involved,
happening
but-
here. I'm sprinting.
Ooh.
Seems like I am, right? Look how fast that got.
And aim down sights. And oh, loot crate.
All right.
All these trailblazing inventions.
So if we had a proper debug build, we could bring up the debug menu, and then you could drop whatever you want into the space. Right now, there's nothing here but 2 hunters. So
I wasn't paying attention in the E3 demo, but is that battle rifle exactly the same as the one I was just using in the demo? It looks different. It might just be lighting.
Well, it's still only single fire. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Hunters with blue helmets. All right, I don't know what's happening here. I'm backing out of
The kids are
AI
requesting
test.
multiplayer.
AI test is a bust.
Yeah.
All right, you mean they want me to go on multiplayer?
Yeah. But that's probably, I mean, typically that's going to be a sterile, empty experience.
Yeah, I don't know if that's...
Unless that one guy, remember the guy who didn't log out of Halo 2 and was the last person online on Xbox Live?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's probably still doing it. Forerunner tank. We're getting lots of Forerunner tank requests.
Yeah, we're not totally sure how old this build is. It's obviously early on in the project.
Yeah.
Things have changed. Scope does look different. Debug menu's not coming up, unfortunately, in this build, Leo.
Our lords are with you today, Dervish.
Oh, Dervish. That's
Remember
some
that?
deep lore.
This is old school.
Yeah, the Arbiters, this is out there anyway, but the Arbiters was originally called the Dervish, named after a kind of, actually kind of a dance, but performed by the Dervish people, where they spin around spectacularly.
And that ended up getting...
We had to change it.
Yeah,
for
the GOps review, right?
GOps,
they
yeah.
Told us we needed to not call it
Yeah.
Dervish. Wow, this is... Of course, we knew this was going to be very bad perf, but it really is unplayable.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of this. And I can't
It's
do
art.
it. I really can't do anything.
A lot of Dervish people.
People like the yeah, excellent frames. Yeah, it is. What is that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to go or what this even is. This is raw, never before seen stuff, and now you know why.
Now they're asking for the Halo 3 E3 build, and which is much more boring than
All right. So far, these are not that exciting. I don't see much. There's not much going on here that's super interesting.
Yeah.
What were people telling me saying they wanted to try?
Didn't know you guys had a GoldenEye setting for Halo 2.
We do.
Well, it's you remember GoldenEye had that 2-controller mode
Oh, yeah.
where so that you can set up the buttons sort of like that, not exactly, but yeah,
The Macworld demo build. That, I don't know if we have access to
this
that.
was probably the biggest console FPS control scheme to kind of take off. But yeah, GoldenEye had the same idea, two analog sticks.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day, but you needed 2 controllers, obviously.
Now we're really into like a slow-mo frame rate. That's a lovely skybox.
Nice skybox.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we had a conversation about somebody was asking if we had any 3D assets of the Halo ring itself. Most of them were 2D, but the one of the guys is kind of a hack built a proper scale Halo ring to mess around with.
Huh. Yeah, this isn't doing a whole lot. I think Scoops would have been probably a better.
But these are much closer to final graphics
yeah. This looks like vintage Paul Russell Forerunner art.
Yeah.
Not much here, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like just an empty space. Okay, well, that's that.
I can't watch it anymore. It's
getting motion sick. Yeah, please don't hurl.
I don't get motion sickness playing myself, but I do watching other people. That's the worst.
You'll hurl, then I'll hurl, and we'll have Mountain Dew hurl everywhere. It would be a bad scene. People are asking about multiplayer. I don't even know what it's got here.
This doesn't seem like multiplayer.
Campaign options, game options.
Clan match. Now, people forget about the clan system for Xbox Live, for Halo, where it's really just a second friends list, sort of anonymized.
This isn't going to do anything either.
Yeah.
All right, we're starting to... I checked the save film. What game demos are on here, do you think?
Ooh. Well, it's probably like Fusion Frenzy and stuff.
Yeah, right. You're probably right.
What is it?
Not found.
X-Den was not found. Oh, bummer.
People are like, hey, we didn't tune in to watch Fusion Frenzy demos.
Crackdown.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's a whole lot else to dig out of here.
Yeah.
14 years though, and tomorrow is the anniversary for CE.
16th anniversary of Xbox Live as well.
That's right.
And yeah, that's a lot going on.
Yeah, I was. We were talking about this the other day. I think obviously the game itself was awesome, but there's so many things that the Halo 2 did that changed kind of the whole industry.
Oh, I think the way that what's really obvious is if you go back and look at multiplayer interfaces before Halo 2, the whole concept of matchmaking and that sort of really quick, fast rotating social thing was that felt really new.
Yeah.
I mean, and nothing is new. Like all of these things probably existed before at some point, but Halo definitely made a lot of these things really mainstream and expected.
Do you remember though how just internally at the time how divisive and controversial the matchmaking
and it was
when Max Hoberman was kind of working on?
It was also really hard to get a feel for what it would be like through description. So it didn't matter how many PowerPoint demonstrations or flow charts that you looked at for how the experience would be, until you just hit A or refreshed a list, it just didn't. It was a thing that you had to really experience to fully understand why it was so addictive. And I know a lot of people now prefer server lists and other ways of sort of curating their game experiences, but man, it makes the most of the population, and it also makes the game more challenging, because you're going to find people closer to your skill.
I think people might be right. We should try Earth City. It might be the most polished. I remember the outrage, though. At the time, people were literally, so you mean it's like going into a restaurant, except I don't get to order what I want off the menu. The chef just tells me, here's what you're going to eat? That is just
It's omakase, dude.
It really was, right? It's ahead of
Yeah.
its time. And now matchmaking, like every game has some version of matchmaking, and it became a platform level
And it works
feature,
with
right?
choices as well. You can give people the best of both worlds. Give them the population and give them some choice. And
All right, so this is Earth City, and this is looking a little bit reminiscent of
Yeah.
the E3 build that you just played through. So
Yeah.
I think somebody said they
But with-
noticed in the description they thought this said September 2003, so this build would have been slightly later than E3.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. There's that gold hog.
Yeah.
I still have one, mint and package, Joyride limited edition.
nice.
Gold
Nice.
hog. Yeah, for sure. Somebody asked, I saw scrolling through in the chat, what are we doing to preserve and archive these builds? They already all exist in various forms of like source control depots and archives. Well, actually, the hardest part is finding hardware to run it.
Yeah. These used to be when we switched to 360. These things were stacked up to the ceiling, but yeah, they're hard to find now.
I mean, I think Sean said he bought his off of eBay.
Well, I was talking to somebody this morning about the Sega Chihiro. Do you remember that? It was an Xbox-based arcade hardware platform that Sega developed. You know, it was just a much easier to develop on than the custom hardware that games were using at the time.
Yeah, this is
Whoa.
just not playable.
Yeah. Well, at least the frame rate is slow enough to not make me want to vomit now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Like
Oh, there
2
you go.
frames a second faster, and it'd be hurl time.
How or who decided what color the Chiefs' armor and faceplate would be? Wow, that would have predated us because that was a
Yeah.
Halo CE decision, obviously.
I mean, you know, and sometimes these things are. I've definitely seen concept art where it was golden or yellow, but some of these things just look different when you put them in the game, and you tweak and tune and.
It just said, it just gave me a message telling me the Covenant battery has fallen off the map. Whatever the heck that's referring to. Get off me, man.
Well, it's cool that it's still feeding you debug information.
Well, I could go to a different build that does have the debug menu. I miss being able. And normally it'd be right there, but it's not. This isn't the right kind of build.
Guys asking if we can rip the BSPs from these. I mean, you could, but they're so low poly that it'd almost be better recreating them from scratch, or extruding them from the existing ones.
Huh? Do you remember how far into development the regenerating health came in?
I've had conversations about that. That and the camera detached from Myth, but I don't know. But that changed a lot of video games too.
For sure. What's your favorite part of Halo 2?
Of Halo 2? I mean, I love the music. I love the fact that you got to go deep on who the Covenant were and why they were mad at you or whatever. But I think I like the XBL most of all. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah, for sure. Matchmaking in general.
Yeah. Atomic George, and I mean that, not
Yeah.
Jorge. But
There he is.
it's pronounced Jorge.
What was the most funny memory of the media press tour of Halo 2 in the world? Funny. We did a lot of stuff back then, though.
Yeah, it's all a blur. And I actually, maybe this is true for Sketch as well. I mix them up. Like I'll mix up events, years, even
true.
game variants.
I mean,
yesterday we were talking about how Halo 4 came out in 2012, and somebody in the conversation said, "Well, Reach came out in 2010." I'm like, "No, it didn't," but it did. And so, like, a lot of that is just all smeared together in one big experience. So.
Does Save Films work in this build? No, it doesn't seem to be. Press Xbox Live. All right, I'll press it. It's not going to do anything.
Oh, they asked. Somebody else asked about game demos. We checked. There's nothing in there. We were excited to see it, but
That's a good question. When did you guys first realize super bouncing was a thing in Halo 2?
it probably during test, but
High
it just
Impact
wasn't.
Halo. Wow, remember that?
It wasn't trivial enough to worry about people doing it by accident or on purpose.
Was there any time during development where you guys thought this game will never be finished and
Yes.
will never ship?
Yes, all the time. Can I still imitate Marty? I don't know how many people have heard Marty's real voice. I don't know how long we'll be able to keep getting away with that.
I'm loving the push the button for sound effects too. It's kind of
Any Halo 3 builds on the original Xbox. There would have been some. There would have been some ideas that they were prototyping on the original Xbox, but not any kind of meaningful builds. And are there any builds of Halo 2 that still have sprint? Well, this one does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Sean was showing me earlier. Just kind of like automatically. There's no button for it, from what I could tell. It just automatically kicks in after you're running for a couple seconds. It just speeds you up.
Yeah. Somebody asked if it's true that Jason Jones locked himself in a room for this game. I mean, if you're talking about Fusion Frenzy, then yes.
Huh.
It's hard to tell because
it's widely documented that at the beginning of Halo 2, Jason wasn't that involved. He actually was trying to explore some other concepts and other projects, and
people got bits of those through Destiny and
for sure
through Halo 3.
But eventually, I think, keep in mind, Bungie had less than 60 people working on this title, so eventually. Kind of came down to, I don't think the studio could realistically be a 2-title studio. We needed all hands on deck to finish Halo 2, and Jason and his Strike Force never did really return to that project. In fact, after Halo 2 is when it was such a hard process that's kind of when Jason went off on a very long sabbatical, right?
Sort of thinking about things for the future. But remember, a lot of the things that we built for these games are prototypes for ideas that are going to be in future games as well. And did you say this debug has that? I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
The code. It has the build of.
I'm told it does.
Yeah. Probably the most advanced state of a piece of software that they never released, right? Because it's actually quite robust and featured relative to this.
Edit a list of games to cycle through when you host a multiplayer game session. Nice. I don't think I remember that.
I remember talking about it.
Did that ship?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. People really want screenshots of the BSP. I don't even know if that is possible, to be honest. That's going to have to be a question for.
Because we can't. I know we can't detach the camera in this build. Otherwise, we could just pull out and look. But glad Ed Freeze fought for more time on Halo 2.
Controller settings. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, Atomic George. I told him there are Jorge George story from the development of Reach.
This isn't that helpful. I was hoping to see what some of the buttons even are.
Project Phoenix. Wait, is Project Phoenix, was that Halo Wars 1 or was that the MMO?
I think
it was one of those two, but I can't remember.
I don't think it was Halo Wars 1. I think it was a different concept idea, I believe. Could we stream Halo 3 Dead Build sometimes? I think so, for sure. I think
probably, yeah.
Maybe for the next anniversary.
3 years, yeah.
Where it makes sense.
No.
Plus,
could this be emulated on Xbox One hardware? Yes, it would.
I'm going to walk around you and
would
just
require
hit the
a lot
reset.
of resources to happen because we'd have to test it. The software itself, it's actually quite easy to get things up and running in BC mode, in emulation, but it is not easy to sort of curate them properly so that they're not just big crashy messes. So now,
I kind of want a second. I kind of wish I had another one of these, and I would love to have someone gut it and put an Xbox One X innards inside of this. I think that would be pretty sick.
Oh, is it custom? Well, it'd easily fit. There's plenty of space.
I don't know.
That might be easier than we think.
I wouldn't know how to begin, but yeah.
So I have to go to my my meeting in that other building.
I've heard.
Which is a very exciting meeting. I wish I could tell the
2039. Okay.
Halo Chronicles was the Peter Jackson related game thing, and you do recall Peter Jackson actually wrote a really amazing script for that.
What do you think this is? Halo 1 M1 Halo Beta.
Oh.
Should we just launch it for
Halo
our last
Beta.
possible thing to see what happens before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. This could go wrong.
Scoops did not vouch for this. Oh, an error occurred loading an Xbox executable.
Oh, bummers.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that's all we got right now, it looks like, on this kit. We could look at, this is 2039, so a little bit prior to the final. And this one, if we had anything beyond the symbols build, we could use the debug menu. I saw people asking for that, but unfortunately we don't have that right now, and I don't know if it will work on this build or not. You ran near ship, right? Let me just launch this real quick and see. Can I have the elite costume for the Halo movie?
Elite costume for the Halo movie. I don't know what he means. Does he mean for the TV show or for some of the previous stuff with we actually have one of the elite costumes from the
Finally a crash. Hush, Grandma.
Stow it, son.
Stow it, son.
They're saying, I wonder if anyone from Bungie is watching. Definitely, because we saw a couple of people in the chat.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I found whatever button you were using before. I just reset it by accident. I don't even know what I did. So this build, you can see, is running a little different. The debug spew is on the bottom, so it's kind of, it started throwing some errors.
What did you think about the Halo 2 modders? Well, I'm sure some of them were great hobbyists and fine engineers in training, but spawning in the middle of Sanctuary in the sky while a guy on the ground sniped you,
yeah, not super fun.
That's what I.
Would we consider streaming the older canceled Halo titles? I don't know about that. I don't even know what that would entail.
I think the only one I can think of that's meaningfully in any kind of condition at all would be the MMO from Ensemble, but that was not. It's not something we could stream.
I don't think so. No. Kill the lights. Those aren't modders. They're cheaters. Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Thank
true.
you. Yeah.
Was Halo 3 ODST any good compared to Halo 3? What?
Two Bears remembers the Sky Spawn snipes. He knows that hell.
What about the Halo CE E3 build of the dinosaurs? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Scoops has access to anything that's ever been checked in, so I don't know if that particular early stuff was actually even ever archived.
Or organized in a way that could run. Oh, somebody wants to see the Mega Bloks Halo game, the kids game.
Oh, I saw pictures of it.
Cool.
And I saw the
I
video
played a bunch of
online
it.
when that came out months ago.
We got prototype pretty
looks
far.
cool.
Bunch of art. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys.
Cool.
I have
Thanks,
to
Frank,
go
for
to
joining us.
Top
and,
secret meeting.
Reminiscing.
Yeah, this was a blast.
And a lot of your old updates, including your old Imagine Media articles, everything can still be found on the internet. It's all still there.
I bet Scoops has got them all, everything we ever made on some debug somewhere.
He might. In fact, I had also found the flyer for our 2003 Fan Fest, which you adorned with that special custom Flaming Mr. Chief. That was our logo for our 2003 Fan Fest.
The dual-wielding bacon, I think.
Oh,
no, it wasn't. It was the flames. You're right.
Dual-wielding bacon, I think, was maybe the next year's one.
Yeah.
I think we did
massively upgraded.
Well, we did I don't remember this, but I was going through my boxes. I had forgotten we did a fan fest at the Experience Music Project for Halo 2 as
That was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that mixed up because eventually Microsoft had a party there one year, and I mixed up those two
Well, I know
things,
we did an ODST and Reach thing there, too, but I had forgotten that we actually did a Halo 2 thing there as well.
Paul Allen. Rest in peace.
That's right.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you, Frank.
My
Enjoy
pleasure.
your afternoon of real work. I might just suffer through this for a few more minutes. We're kind of getting ready to run out of time here.
Try not to puke.
Thanks for stopping by, and you did a good job on that demo. Shockingly, you never crashed. Yeah, really is rock solid. I can't even, no matter what I do, this thing will not crash. Oh! Look at that. I just blew this Marine with off this other guy with a grenade, and now he's just standing over here doing CPR on the ground. There you go, folks. That is a legitimate. I know. I caught myself. I know where you were going with that, Frank. That was not my intent. Thanks, Frank. See you later. While I'm scrolling around here, I want to give a quick shout out as well to our awesome stream team. We got Liz O back in the booth. Hello. Keeping things good. And a big shout out to Michael Sternoff off camera here, just for all their help trying to figure out how the heck can we show something that's 14 years old on our streaming setup, which is kind of finicky anyways. So thank you both for making this possible. I'm going to grenade this guy too. See what happens. Ooh! All right, show me. He's pinned down up front. I want to see it. I don't believe you. A little dark. Can't see much. Let's blow everything up. I'm going to race ahead and see if this... Somebody asked me earlier, will this kill you? Nope, didn't kill me. Nothing happened. Friendly's moving out. Let's go ham. Oh boy, forgot. There's no triggers. Grunts down. What? That's it? They're gone. What does happen if I just stand on a grenade? Nothing. I truly am deathless. Oh, they hadn't even, look at that. They haven't even given me my dual SMGs, and yet I already have them. I think I already broke the scripting, folks. I feel like I'm moving way faster than Frank was on his build, too. These guys are waiting for me to come through this breach. Music to drive by. That's the name of that queue that just popped in. That's pretty cool. Uh-oh, can't find a free 3D voice for channel 57. Uh-oh. Failed to predict geometry, out of space. It's kind of more fun with the debug spew on. More authentic. It's doing that same thing it did for Frank, though. It kind of makes you appear in the Warthog whether you want to or not. Man, I used to love blowing those cars up. And I blew up my friendly Warthog. Nope, nothing. Nice. Failed to predict geometry, out of space. I hit the ghost! Suck it, Joe Staten. Saw that. Still got it. Okay. Well, I think one thing we have definitely proven is that reports of how unstable, and finicky this build is and prone to crashing seems to just be an urban legend. Frank got stuck at one point and couldn't progress, but we never got this thing to crash or break at all. I'm going to have words with Mr. Staten. I'm now questioning everything that I was told back in the day. Goes to my right. I'm waiting. That was fake. I didn't even do anything. Just appeared on the ghost. Cool. Wonder how long you would let me ride that. Draw the phantoms off. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know where to go. I forgot. This way? Who's watching? Nope, not this way. Yeah, everyone's kind of pointing out that this build is nowhere near as crash happy as they were led to believe. Keep in mind, this is actually the earlier build. This is not even the one we played earlier. This one is from a couple builds before the E3 build. And it's still pretty stable. All right, well, I don't even remember where to go now, so I think we're just about out of time. But remember, we do social streams here pretty much every Wednesday. We are not going to do one next week, by the way, since we have the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States. So we're going to take the week off. A lot of people are going to be out enjoying time with friends and family on Wednesday, but look for us to be back the following week with some sort of regularly scheduled program. Unisheck will be back in the office by then. Also, of course, this weekend is our big Halo 5 HCS Finals at DreamHack Atlanta. This is our last big official Halo 5 tournament. It's going to be awesome. Lots on the line here. Also really excited. This will be the first time we're going to have a Halo 3 competition in many, many years. So the Halo 3 2v2 showdown looks like it's going to be an epic battle. $10,000 prize pool on the line. Lots of really cool people from the old days are coming out. They're competing again. You'll have Neighbor, Ghost Ayami, Flame Sword. There's a whole variety of people. It's going to be really fun. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. Should make for a great weekend in Atlanta. That kicks off this Friday. You can watch it right here, of course, on mixer.com/Halo. And for more information, please head over to halo.gg. That's our big home for everything Halo esports on the web. You'll find the broadcast schedule and additional information about the event. But we hope you'll tune in and join us there. And I think beyond that, I don't know, guys, should we go out? Should we play ourselves out with the video we talked about earlier? Do we have that? So on the way out, if you want to hang around, I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself from the stream, but I was able to pull, it's about an 8-minute making of Halo 2 HD Vidoc from back in the days. This is around 2004. Frank nor I are in the video, but a lot of our old compadres are. You'll see about a 12-year-old Joe Staten. You'll see a Marty O'Donnell. And it's just an interesting look back when we worked at the Millennium Buildings over near the Rock Quarry on the outskirts of Redmond back in the early days of around 2004. So we're going to go ahead and cut out our stream, kick over to that video. Feel free to hang out and watch it if you're interested. If not, really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you'll join us this weekend for some amazing esports, and we'll be back after Thanksgiving for more social stream action. So thank you very much for joining us today. I'm Sketch on behalf of Frank and Scoops who are gone. Thanks. Have a great holiday next week, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, you guys. And that's it for our show today. I hope you got to see everything that you wanted. Did you see everything? Oh, I feel like I am forgetting something. What was it? Oh, Halo. Hey, how could I forget? Jason, you're right there. You're ready. Of course, they got to see Halo, and you guys are all set. Why don't we bring up Jason Jones? We got Joe Satin up here, and they're going to give us a little glimpse of their little game, Halo.
It's all about you, Joe. Hey, everybody. So I'm Jason. I'm one of the co-founders of Bungie and the lead on Halo. I've got Joe Staten with me here. He's our director of cinematics. Joe's done some pretty cool Halo movies of the PC version of the game over the last 2 years for you guys. We're going to put him on the spot this time, do something a little bit different, get him to actually play Halo on the Xbox. We're pretty much going to let it speak for itself.
Great. Thanks, Jason. It's really nice not to be showing you a movie today, and although it makes me very nervous to actually play this for you, I am going to be playing Halo in the flesh on the Xbox. On behalf of the whole Halo team, thanks a lot for coming, and welcome to Halo on the Xbox. Is locked in a life-or-death struggle with a group of aliens known as the Covenant. The Covenant have destroyed our colony worlds. Their forces, they're unstoppable. To lead the Covenant away from Earth, a ship of human soldiers makes a blind jump to a forgotten corner of the galaxy, where they crash on Halo, an ancient ring artifact 10,000 kilometers in diameter locked in orbit between an obscure planet and its moon. And this is Halo. And this is you. An elite military unit, you are the last of your kind. Trained to fight with any weapon, attack in any vehicle, you are mankind's most sophisticated piece of military hardware. Linking together with other survivors from the crash, you begin a guerrilla war against the Covenant army that followed you to Halo. Whichever side, human or alien, first uncovers the secrets of Halo will find something that will alter the course of the war. Humanity's fate is in your big, green, armored hands.
Yeah!
Thanks a lot. So that's Halo. Come see us at the pavilion.
Woo!